Hey, this is Woodruff Woods out here. We just cut down a Christmas tree. We want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, and welcome back to Woodruff Woods. I want to take a few moments this evening to thank all of the firewood community for what you did the other night on my live stream. We ended up raising $1,020 for the children of the Janet Weiss Children's Hospital. Most of those children are very ill, and that money will be going to buy items for them, mainly toys, blankets, books, that type of thing that keeps their mind occupied while they are going through their treatments. So again, thank you very much. I think we as a community made a difference. The person that I had met, she posted a thank you on her YouTube page, which I will put a link right up here, and you can check that out. So as promised, I'm going to show you how I set up the Oregon sharpener. Basically, the angle of degrees is set back here. I had pointed that before. This knob loosens that up. We are set at 55 degree angle, which is this angle coming into the chain, or the cutter, I should say. This knob back here adjusts the depth. So when I come down, I can see that it fits down into the tooth. I don't have that tightened up right now, but you get the idea. And we are set at 25 degrees down here, which is adjusted by this knob. And I adjust this. Typically what I do is I tighten that chain up, and I just want to touch it as I'm coming in. And I've gone through this. I think the cutter that I have here is probably in the worst shape, although this chain's in very good shape because I don't tend to run my chains down to the point where they're so bad that I have to take a lot of material off. But just like to mark it with a Sharpie. That way I know where I start. Some people will find kind of the connecting link on the chain. Sometimes on the Husky chains, there are gold link. You can do it that way. But I like to find the cutter that I think I need to take the most or the least amount of material off of, and then apply that to, the least amount. And that will cause me to take more off of some teeth because they're in better shape than the worst one. So when I come into the saw, or into the saw chain, I try to go real slow. You can see I'm just barely touching it. The reason that I'm doing it this way is I don't want to build heat in the tooth. And you can see I've gotten down to the gullet, and then I index the chain forward. And let's take a look. We'll just take a look at this chain, just so you can see the sharpness of it. And let me try to get that up there where you can see. You can see I'm getting a nice sharp point on this. I'm getting a nice sharp cutter, and I got a nice curvature down in here into the gullet, which is what you're looking for. You can kind of see that I probably don't even have to take the rakers down. I usually will. This is only the first time this chain's ever been sharpened, so I got a lot of material to work with. And you can see I index forward, and I can go through and do the rest of the chain, which I'll continue to do. If someone does go too fast, you tend to get black on the tooth. And so if you ever take it to a saw shop and you get a black tooth up here, you know someone was just too aggressive and not taking their time to not build heat in the tooth. And it's really those first couple of touches that you want to be careful, because that's the point where you're cutting the tooth. As you can see, I knew I was cutting more of that tooth, so I paused and just let that heat dissipate. This is a 20-inch chain, which I know many of you run. It's 3/8 pitch, 0.050 gauge, and I believe 72 drive links. This is another one where I'm taking more material. So I'm trying to be a little careful with that one. So I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing the cold weather that we are here. I know some of you out there in the Midwest and mountain states are getting it even worse. And, you know, we had some negative temperatures, but today it's about 20 degrees out. It's going down to 9 tonight, so it's starting to warm up a little. Tomorrow we'll be back in the wood yard, now that we got Christmas out of the way. And with that last stroke, I finished 1/2 of the chain. So when I'm done with that, I loosen this up. I rotate to 25 degrees on the other side, and I push this through like that so that I can hit the opposite side cutters. So I like to index past the tooth that I marked, and I'll just check this. It should be pretty close. It is. And so then I'll start the other side. Actually, we can, as you can see, I wasn't really cutting the top. So what I'll do is I'll loosen this up. I'll loosen this nut, give this about 1/4 of a turn, and see if we're touching it. And we are. So we're going to see, let's just double check that. I can even get a little more on this. And let's try that. That looks pretty good. So let me tighten that up. Try it again. Again, once you do the first tooth, you can move on and be pretty confident that every tooth is exactly the same. And that does look better. And I'll just reach in here and feel that. Not so sure, but it looks like it's cutting it, so I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want one side to be different than the other. So I'm really enjoying this cold weather. I find that I'm very energized when it's cold like that. First of all, if you want to stay warm, you got to keep moving. So there's not a lot of standing around. And we got some bundlewood orders going out this week. Again, I probably won't video much of that You guys have seen me bundle quite a bit, so I don't want to bore you with old content. All right, and this is the last tooth. All right, we'll pull that chain off of there, take a look at those left side cutters. And you can see on this one, so this is a good example. I could probably take a little more off of that. Let me see if I can get that. You can see the tip didn't really get down in there, which is one thing you probably wouldn't have with a file because you're moving the file around. But it is very sharp, so I'm not going to mess with it. And it looks like some of the teeth have it, some don't. Like there's one there. So I could take a little more off of that side, but since I took actually more off of the right side than the left side, I'm not going to make the problem any worse. I'll cut with this again, sharpen it again. I might even hit it the second time with the file. So anyway, that's how you set the Oregon sharpener up and sharpen a chain. Hopefully that's enough demonstration for you. And like I say, with each chain in the book, there is a chart, and also on the back of the Oregon packages, there is a chart to show you how to do that. So as you can see, that goes really fast when you're doing the sharpening on that electric sharpener. Like I say, the 2-in-1 sharpener, though, works pretty good. So I actually have one of my 2-in-1 sharpeners here. I got another one today for Christmas for the 3/8 chain. This one's for a 0.325 chain, which I run on two of my saws, the 346 and the 550. And this is what the Husky one looks like. It's a bit different than maybe what you've seen with the steel version. But the one thing I do like about the Husky version, and I know you guys are gonna say I'm just being a Husky guy, you know, like that I don't respect steel or something. That's not true. I do respect steel. I do like the banter of the whole Husky steel debate, much like I do John Deere Kubota or whatever. You know, it's just kind of fun to joke around about that stuff. But one thing I do like about this is you can rotate the handle as you push through. And I don't know how many of you that have historically filed by hand, but I always turn my file as I go through, as I find that it cuts better into the metal. So that was one thing I do like better about the Husky one. I think the steel one is actually a little bit better made. It seems as though it's a little sturdier, but the other thing is on this one, when you have to switch to the other side, you have to move these, and I don't know as I can do this quickly. I'll try. But you slide this out, and then this comes out, as does the raker file, that one, right? And you switch them around, so like this, so that your file's you're always filing in the same direction. And that's, you know, it's a cumbersome kind of design. I think they could do better on that. I actually I like it, but I don't love it, because if you don't push them in at the same time the right way, they get kind of bound up and don't wanna move. But you know, there could be an easier way to do that, frankly. So that would be my hit on the Husky. And what do they call this? They call it Sharp Force. So there you go, Sharp Force. Highly recommend this. This runs about $35 to $40. You know, whereas a sharpener like that, you're into the hundreds of dollars. So, you know, if you're looking for a cheap, fast way to sharpen chains and do it effectively, these 2-in-1 type sharpeners are excellent. So, anyway, with that, I'm going to make this a short video and, you know, just say Merry Christmas to everyone once again. I hope your holiday was as good as mine. It was nice spending it with family. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that fire burning. It's always good to have a fire on Christmas, especially with all this cold weather we're having. So anyway, we'll catch you on the next one.